Choosing a time. So I need to start again. Hey everybody, welcome back to Choosing a Time. I know it's been a while again. Um, Schedules are absolutely crazy for all of us, and internet issues, and family issues, and work issues, and absolutely everything. But we finally managed to get three of us in one place. I've got Sarah and Jessica with me. How you doing, Sarah?
I'm doing good. Summer's coming, so excited about that.
Summer's coming just in time for me to
Summer's.
be there. And Jess, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Unlike Sarah, summertime actually means more work for me. So I'm just enjoying stuff right before I have plenty of stuff to do.
Sweet. I'm working my butt off right now to be able to afford going to work. Because I'll be with you guys for 6 months to a year soon. I'll be living in Florida. So yay!
That's fantastic.
Own.
So we're gonna jump right into the season 8 finale. We're finally there to cover Death in Heaven, which is an ominous. I cannot say ominous title in itself. So we'll get right
Are you
into it.
saying ominous?
Yeah, ominous. That's it. Inside the 3W facility, a Cyberman detects Clara. She explains that she should be kept alive because she's a target of strategic value. She says that Clara Aswell is a cover story, it's all lies, and she is really the Doctor. So, the trailer for this episode kind of punked us out with this because it made it look like Clara was some sort of trick or evil because they matched it up with the kids in the volcano scene from the second to last episode. So, what did you think of Clara's plan, Jess?
Oh, I just thought it was a really interesting twist because, I mean, and all the time that we see companions travel with the Doctor, the Doctor is still very, very mysterious, and here she is just rattling off all of his secrets kind of thing. So it kind of gets to wondering just how much they actually talk, particularly from one incarnation to another. And it was really neat seeing her take charge the way that she did, in the sense that she did kind of, she was stalling the Cybermen, but the Cybermen really didn't know what to do with her because what if she really had reincarnated as the Doctor, or you know what I mean? And yeah, I thought that was a very quick and clever bit on her end.
And Sarah, what do you think?
I appreciate what they tried to do, but I did not like it. Because at this point, I'm not a fan of Clara that much, so any more focus on her, I just didn't really like it. I also thought it was, I don't know, just a little unnecessary. I don't know, I just didn't like it. I mean, I appreciate what they tried to do. Like, I assume what they wanted to do was try to make the audience think, oh, wait a second, what if she really is the Doctor? This whole time, she is the Doctor. But I didn't like it.
I don't think they actually tried to make that distinction. I think that is more commentary on who the Doctor is. The Doctor could be anybody kind of thing. And they've been playing a lot with moral decisions and the tasking of these heavy decisions from the Doctor's point of view, because he's frequently tasked with having to make these life or death situations, oftentimes for entire planets. And now we're seeing a little bit more throughout season 8 where Clara has that perspective on things. And so seeing, if we're to kind of consider whether or not Clara was addicted to the Doctor or addicted to traveling or addicted to this kind of adventurous lifestyle, it's kind of interesting how far is she willing to go to essentially become the Doctor.
See, I kind of agree with both of your points, but I definitely feel like it wasn't meant to dupe us, just the Cyberman. Um, the trailer was meant to dupe us, but not the scene.
I'm so mad about that trailer.
Sorry.
I'm just saying I'm so mad about that trailer.
I know. That's the only reason I didn't like it, because I thought it was smart and clever. But I was a little disappointed because I thought it was going to be quite an exciting revelation about Clara. Because I really loved that scene with the volcano and the keys. So if they'd actually done this, it would have been awesome. And I kind of feel the opposite way. I feel like Clara is, unless a lot happens off screen, Clara never seemed that in love with it as much as other companions have been. Not she wasn't as addicted as Amy was. Never,
I don't know. Well, she kept lying to Danny, saying that I'm gonna quit, and then she, would turn around and, spend additional time with the doctor and spending more and more time getting into life and death situations. I'm not, with the amount of time that we saw Amy transform herself, because, if it wasn't for the Weeping Angels, they would have probably traveled with him for the rest of their lives. So that was the end of that. Whereas Clara, really, she had every motivation to settle down into her position. She was in a relationship. Everything that she wanted, so to speak, was there, but she needed more, and she kept reaching out for this adventurous experience. So I'm not sure that I agree with you there.
Interesting. I guess we'll never know, really, because
we might find out next series.
Sorry?
We might find out next series, Series 9, which hopefully will be Clara's last.
Yeah, I think we can all agree that Season 9 is gonna be Clara's last. I don't think Jenna's gonna be going beyond this, especially with the rumors that she might have been leaving at the end of Season 8. I don't think we're gonna have Clara much longer.
Yay.
So I kind of hope for our sakes and Jenna's sakes that she goes out with a bang and it's a really, really good end for her. But back to the episode. Outside of St. Paul's Cathedral, Missy advertises the Cybermen as big middlemen and charges the public £1 for a picture with them. And this is just Doctor Who again trying to say how stupid humans can be. It kind of throws me back to the 11th hour when everybody was taking photos of the giant ice spaceships, and the Doctor's just like, the world ends as it was always going to down a video phone. So, do you guys think they really try to dumb us down on Doctor Who as a species?
Dumb us down, I think, is a little too far. I do think it is commentary on what our priorities are. Because you were talking about that episode. I was back to the one with Amy and Rory and the cubes, where all these cubes showed up and everybody was tweeting. They had those Twitter accounts for the cubes and all that kind of stuff. So that's where I went with that. I think it is a bit of a commentary and tongue-in-cheek comment on the fact that we are so engaged with social media and do we know how to respond to threats properly and all of that kind of stuff. So I don't know that it's really a talking down to us, but it is a hey, let's be aware of our priorities, if that makes any sense.
Totally does. Sarah, do you think in a similar way, really?
I have nothing to say for this.
It's kind of Harry Potter does a similar thing with the Muggles not being able to see much. So I don't think it's an uncommon theme to put in fantastical shows, really. So yeah, the humans are paying £1 for a picture with the Cybermen. And Missy reveals that the same thing is happening globally. And undercover Osgood offers to take a picture as well. And after seizing Missy's weapons, unit officers reveal themselves from the crowd. The Cybermen use their rocket boots to escape, and the roof of St. Paul's opens so a whole heap of them fly out. Missy reveals that there are 91 Cybermen. Oswald states that this is the number of areas of significant population densities in the British Isles, meaning one Cyberman for every town and city in the world. One Cyberman detonates itself above St. Paul's and creates a dark cloud deploying cyber pollen. Now, I feel like we've seen more Cybermen than this in Doomsday, so it shouldn't be as intimidating as the Doomsday numbers were, but what did you think about all the Cyberman action, Sarah?
I just wanted to know why they were there at first, because as the episode went on, I realized that, I didn't really like the Cyberman being there, and I'll get to that later on in the episode. But right now, I was just, kind of wondering why the Cybermen were there, what the cyber pollen was, and, well, it was really good to see Osgood back, and Unit, so there was that. Yay.
For now, spoiler alert. And yes?
The Cybermen are really not one of my favorite villains. I think that they're a little overdone, and for as high tech as they're supposed to be, modified humans and all that kind of stuff, cyber pollen makes no sense whatsoever. At least to me, I can't suspend disbelief enough to where that makes a lick of sense in any of my books. So yeah, I was just kind of watching at this point. I was far more interested in Missy, rather in her antics than I was about anything else.
I think she did such a good job that she didn't need the Cybermen to be really good TV. And the Cybermen, they don't seem like the choice of ally that the Master would take. I mean, I do think the Mistress would take. I'm just going to call her Master. And the Cybermen are also not the first Doctor Who creatures I think of when it comes to death. I mean, I would have been cool with seeing the Gelf again. That would have been good.
Okay, since we're bringing this up, I would have wanted to see the Toclafane again.
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say that later, but why not? I'll say it now. I thought the Cybermen, were useless. I didn't like the Cybermen in this episode. I would have much preferred it if the humans went into the Toclafane, since at least the Master and the Toclafane were like in an episode together,
That would have been cool.
Yeah, bring back the Toclafane.
Although he didn't create the Toclafane, they sort of created themselves by going to that planet. So I don't know how that would have worked, but it still would have been better than the Cybermen.
They would have found a way.
Oh, yeah. So, meanwhile in the Neversphere, all the lights go out. Seb tells Danny that they all might be going home. He explains to Danny that he should think of the Neversphere as a data cloud for storing recently deceased minds. The good news, he says, is that their bodies have been upgraded. That's not really good news for the deceased populace, since they're about to use the last of the humanity that they have left. Did you see this coming, that Danny was going to become a Cyberman, Jess?
I honestly don't remember. It wasn't shocking, but I don't know that I really anticipated this transition.
I kind of feel like the Cyberman thing was just a plot device for this to happen, as a way of writing Danny out with closure. Sarah, what do you think? Did you see it coming?
I did see it coming. I had that feeling that he was going to turn into a Cyberman. But then again, I think it was only because I saw the spoilers beforehand. And I'm pretty sure in the graveyard scene, I remember seeing the spoiler reports for it and like yelling like, Danny, what about Danny, not you too, or something like that in the graveyard. So I kind of anticipated Danny becoming a Cyberman. I don't think Danny was a Cyberman on the set that day, but I remembered that part, so I kind of saw it coming.
If Danny hadn't become a Cyberman, he probably would have had the most normal and mundane death a companion has ever had.
Yeah.
Which was cool to see.
Yeah.
We've never had a companion that just gets hit by lightning or run over. And I say hit by lightning because Sarah and Jess have thunderstorms and tornado warnings and things like that. Completely different to how it is in New Zealand right now.
Yeah.
But huh?
Yes.
Do you want to say something, Sarah? And Jess has disappeared.
No, I heard Jess say something and then she went away.
Hello?
Oh, she's back!
Yay! I don't know. I think what?
Please tell me your internet isn't dying.
I don't know. it got bogged down. I don't know if the connection is great with the weather and everything. So if I disappear,
I jinxed it by talking about the lightning.
I don't know. I think that if Danny's death had stayed at the car crash, that would have been even more traumatic. Because I think, I mean, my heart broke for Clara in that moment. And so kind of seeing him again, I was like, yeah, I guess this could happen. And then, later on in the episode, there was the whole choice and everything. But which, kind of made you die a little bit again. But I do remember the impact of Danny's death. And because I liked him so much as a character, I remember that experience and what that meant for Clara and kind of cueing me into how much or how deeply she felt for him, because for a while I hadn't been convinced of the depth of her feelings for him. But I don't know. Hello? Can you?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
I heard something funny over my speakers. Okay. I don't know. I think since it's Doctor Who and everything that don't take anything at face value, but I do think that it would have been better storytelling, or at least more interesting, if he did die through those means.
Totally. I think I would have liked to see that. As Stephen Moffat, that does not mean that we want the next companion to die a horrible human death. Just FYI there. So back at St. Paul's, both Mercy and the Doctor are sedated, and the Doctor just manages to whisper to Osgood, guard the graveyards before passing out. Kate Lethbridge Stewart states on the phone that the first protocol has been implemented as the cloud made by the Cybermen starts to rain into the graveyards, and only the graveyards. The water seeps out and makes the sewers and gutters overflow as well. The water gets into the Chaplet funeral home and animates the newly converted Cyberman within. One of these is revealed to be Danny Pink, who clutches the sheet of paper with his information on it. Why was the Doctor sedated as well, was my first question. Sarah, what did you think about the whole Cyberman manifestation and how easily the Master was imprisoned?
Actually, now I'm thinking about it. Why was the Doctor sedated? I feel like it's answered in the episode, but I don't remember the answer to it. So I don't know why the doctor was sedated. But as for the whole, the converted Cyberman, I don't know. I was pretty creepy, especially when it went into the funeral home and converted Danny Pink. I was genuinely creeped out by that, the dead becoming the Cybermen. So yeah, I don't know.
And
Okay, I was gonna say I know that my crackpot ideas or theories are very rarely on point, but was the doctor sedated because he couldn't be trusted to not take out Missy because the master or whatever was his childhood friend and wanted to preserve essentially the last of at least a connection to the Time Lords?
possibly.
Yay, thunder!
I have to rewatch to be sure for myself.
But I don't know. That was just kind of my idea. But again, it's been a while since I've seen the episode, so I can't quite recall what that might have been.
I feel like it was answered. Oh man, I don't know. I feel like it was answered why he was sedated, and I would go back and watch it right now just to find the answer, but I can't.
You would think the master would have a shoot to kill on sight note on his file. But after what he did the last time he was imprisoned by the air quote British Prime Minister or President, I should say, back in Utopia and the other 2 episodes, he obviously can't be trusted as a prisoner. So I don't know why they'd want to. Oh, her, I should say. I don't know why they'd want to keep her as a prisoner after that. But that does wake up in a unit aircraft hangar. God. In a unit aircraft hangar with the TARDIS, as Kate informs him that protocols are in place and his cooperation is to be ensured. So Unit assumes that he won't automatically do so. I don't know why, as we were saying, but the doctor asks for Clara, and Kate says that he just has to give the order. As soon as he is on the plane, his word is literally law. The plane is revealed to be Boat 1. Kate tells someone on the phone that the president is aboard, and when the doctor comments on the uselessness of Americans, which 2 of the hosts on the show today might take offense to, Colonel Ahmed reveals that the President of the United States was not being referred to. Instead, they were talking about the newly inaugurated President of Earth, Commander-in-Chief of all armies on the planet with complete authority in every nation, the Doctor himself. Dun, 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 dun. He earned that title, come on.
I did not care for that. That was nope.
I didn't like it either.
Do you guys remember in it was one of the David's last Christmas special, I think. With the one with Christina, the burglar Christina.
Oh, Planet of the Dead.
Yeah, Planet of the Dead. The unit scientist in that episode, absolutely, like, he was a complete fanboy.
Malcolm.
So, Malcolm, yes. Oh my god, I loved Malcolm. He is just an example of how much they revere the Doctor, even though they don't trust him sometimes for some stupid reason. So I don't think it was weird. What did you think of it all, especially the comment on Americans? You might have something to say about that.
Well, I didn't think it was weird. I just thought it wasn't necessary. Like, of course that he would be president of the Earth, according to Unit. I just didn't think it was necessary. I just didn't think it moved the story at all. Like this, I just thought it was useless information that we didn't need to know right then and there.
So do you think it was like an already unspoken thing and that didn't need to?
it was already unspoken. I mean, I don't know. He's been doing it all the time. It's just he didn't have the title of it, and I don't know. It just
Hard.
it just didn't seem like the right time and the place for it. And it was like a big build up too. It was just like, you are president of the Earth. And I'm like, yeah, but let's keep the story moving here a little bit. Like, get back to Missy. Want to know more about her. I don't need to know about this president of the Earth crap.
Just what did you think of it all?
Yeah, I thought it was overly cheesy. I think part of it had to do with just the fact that I don't believe that humans would hand over that power so quickly, regardless of how much the Doctor has been needed in the past, kind of thing. I think that he would be seen as a general. I don't think that he would become president of the world. The jab at Americans was absolutely deserved, so I don't believe that was any ill will. That kind of stuff doesn't offend or irritate me in the slightest.
Nah, I wasn't that offended either.
No. No. Yeah, that's pretty much how it works.
That's it. Yeah.
As someone that is soon to be an honorary American, I am not sure about your attitude towards it. No, just kidding. So, back in St. Paul's again, Clara displays an incredible knowledge of the Doctor, trying to convince Cybermen that she is him. She even offered to reveal his true name, which we still don't have, by the way. However, another Cyberman arrives, telling the other three both the lie and its cause. He looks down when she says that she is an incredible liar. He then knocks her unconscious and kills the other three, who realize that he is not under cyber control. He is revealed to be Danny. Domestic abuse. Sarah, what do you think?
The only part of this that I liked was the shout out to Jenny. That was it. Like that Jenny is still alive out there.
I miss her.
I mean, the Doctor doesn't know that Jenny's alive still, but still, we got confirmation that there is Jenny still.
I find it hard to believe that they won't cross paths someday.
They have to. But that's the only part of it that I liked, was that Jenny was referenced.
She needs to come back.
Yep. I agree.
She's had the Doctor's babies. She's the Doctor's wife. So she needs to come back and play the Doctor's daughter. The end. Because we miss her. So
I'm really creeped out now.
Wobbly, timey-wimey. So, off topic again. Have you guys seen the 5-ish Doctors?
Yes.
How cute is that? It just reminded me, because she's in that as well.
Oh my god. I could not stop laughing throughout that entire thing. It was comedy gold.
He is an amazing writer. I need more from him.
I thought they were going to do a sequel to it.
I hope so. Maybe for the next anniversary, if possible.
The anniversary that passed in March.
I wish. I wish something had been done.
Oh, maybe that was great.
He's brilliant. I actually saw him. He came to New Zealand for the Symphonic Spectacular, and he was absolutely hilarious. So please write more. But
I haven't watched it in a while. I'm gonna go watch it after we record.
It's incredible. Oh my god. But last year aside, where are we up to? As Missy wakes up, the Doctor asks her why she is alive, and she states that he saved her, with Gallifrey being collateral damage. She then reveals that she knows where it is, but refuses to give him this information. As he leaves, the Doctor reminds her of all those times she wanted to rule the world and calls it a piece of cake. Osmond quickly guesses who Missy is and brings the slaughter clouds to the Doctor's attention, specifically the fact that they have expanded and now cover all their masses. In response, the Doctor offers her a position in the TARDIS, which is basically a death certificate for all would-be companions, is when they're offered that ride. Do you guys agree?
Wait, I hold on a second, I need to catch up.
Do you guys agree that when a would-be companion is offered their time in the TARDIS, that it's kind of their death certificate? Thinking back to Astrid and who was on platform 1. I can't remember her name.
The doc. Wait, I need to send the document to Jess.
Huh?
Hold on. I'm trying to get the document sent. Choose links, is that it? My drive.
What's happened? Oh, links.
I'm just trying to find.
Oh, damn. I forgot about that.
I'm lost. I can't do it. Oh, well.
You send it to her over Skype.
I left Skype.
I haven't. I'll send it to her.
Okay.
I don't think I'm on Skype any longer.
Oh, damn. Oh, it says you're online.
I am?
Yeah.
Okay. I trust you.
I just need to somehow find this. I'm a little sniffly, so that's why my voice is all funny and I can't speak. Downloads.
Sorry.
Okay, I have something I want to say about this now. Well, not about the companion being, the all of time and space being the death certificate. I don't know what I'm going to say about that, but I have something to say. Sorry, leaving Facebook open is a bad thing. I only have Facebook open so that I can keep tabs on the weather updates. But
I've played PlayStation 3 and whole episodes of PokeTap before, and with no one noticing.
But I got distracted for a second, so I kind of missed that part of the recap.
I just couldn't find it in the wiki that I'm looking at. So.
I'm trying to find where it's saved. I'm gonna have to resave it because I've got it open.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
No, it's okay. I'm almost there. Documents. Please hold. Okay, just Humphrey.
You're gonna have to cut that out, by the way.
Huh?
I would rather my whole name not be in there.
Oh, sorry.
Take out the world. Take out the world. Take on the world. I feel I'm gonna
I just messaged it to you on Skype.
I'm singing, oh.
Ah!
That was Sarah, I think.
Everybody okay?
Huh?
I'm good.
Alright, it's finally opening. Hold on.
Let's see, what am I going to sing this time while we wait?
Okay, Okay, I think I found where we are now.
Alright. So you good?
I think so. You might have to revisit the
We're up,
conversation.
we're up to the bit where it says the doctor offers her
Yeah.
position in the TARDIS. Okay.
Yep.
So I was just saying, do you guys think that being offered a position in the TARDIS is the death certificate for would-be companions? Hello?
I don't know who's gonna go first,
You
Uh,
can. You can.
but I
Sarah?
have something to say. Um, all right, I'll try to find something to say. Okay, so want to know if being offered time and space is signing a death certificate.
So,
Yeah.
for one-off companions, when they get asked that, do you think it's pretty much confirmation that they're gonna die by the end of the episode?
Well, no, but I just think it's a good chance.
Yeah.
I mean,
Uh,
I could totally see, companions being offered time and space, and is this like a death certificate or whatever? And I'm like, yeah, I do. I do, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to die at the end of their episode, of that one-off episode.
just most of the time.
Yeah, just sometimes, yeah.
Jess?
Did I think it was going to happen to Osgood? No, though. No, I didn't. Okay, because I thought Moffat liked Osgood more than that.
Yeah. Jess, do you think the same thing pretty much?
I don't know. I don't think that I can really compare old Who versus new Who and see if there's kind of a more than a trend of. I mean, the companion is always insanely lucky, at least for however many seasons. So, and I just don't know that I have an opinion on this just yet.
Okay. So it's revealed that the Cybermen have been climbing out of the graves world over. When Clara wakes up, she finds herself in a graveyard, just as the Cybermen start climbing out of their graves, which would be pretty creepy. On Boat 1, the council discusses the graves, finding that though only a handful of Cybermen have come out yet, many more are hatching. The Doctor realizes that the entire point of the 3W organization was to learn how to cyber-convert the dead, and is very pessimistic of the chances of stopping them now that they have this new ability. So he's kind of down on himself, really. What did you think of the Doctor's lack of hope with the Cyberman thing? So it's not very like him. Jess?
I wasn't too concerned at this point. Um, it really didn't seem life or death with the Cyberman. I guess I preferred them taking over bodies that way rather than people who are still alive, which may or may not be something that's a popular opinion, but
Well, it's the same moral dilemma that we had with the Garth as well. About how is it really so bad if they manifest inside dead bodies rather than the humans.
Sure.
Sarah?
Oh, I just want to go back a bit to where the Doctor and Missy were talking, like as Missy was tied up. I just want to say the only good thing about the Doctor becoming president of the Earth was the piece of cake exchange, where the Doctor was just like, oh, you know how all those times you wanted to rule the world? Well, and then he, says, okay, I'm coming or something, and he's just like, yes, Mr. President, and the Doctor's like, piece of cake, guys. So I just thought that was the only good thing about the Doctor becoming president of the Earth, was that little exchange with Missy. Also, the other thing I want to mention is how Osgood noticed immediately that it was that Missy was the master, and how she said that he wasn't even the worst prime minister that there was, dating back to the Sound of Drums episode. So it makes me wonder who Osgood thinks was the worst prime minister, and it's making me think that maybe it was the one from the Children of Earth from Torchwood that Peter Capaldi was in.
Oh, possibly. That could be a throwback to another character he played then. They might have done that on purpose.
Yeah, who basically, that prime minister who basically told Peter Capaldi's character, hey, your kids are going to die.
Well, now I need to watch Children of Earth again.
Oh, yeah, but I think he was definitely the worst prime minister.
I blame you. So, on board Boat 1, the Doctor notes that these new Cybermen are not attacking since they are newborns. Kate reveals that they have been investigating 3W for a while before they got a tip-off from a woman with a Scottish accent. Missy, the Doctor guesses. God, that would have been so much cooler if it had been Amy.
Yeah.
The Doctor reveals that Missy has been uploading minds in the Neversphere for as long as humanity has had a concept of an afterlife. So she's had some sort of time traveling device, clearly, to be able to do that. While this is happening, Missy attempts to gain Osgood's attention by singing a version of Hey Mickey, replacing Mickey with Missy. She whispers a secret in her ear in a distinctly Scottish accent. I'm gonna kill you in a minute. She refers to this as her secret girl plan. She starts a countdown from 10 while mocking human lifespans before she reveals that she had already escaped her restraints. She then kills her guards and Osgood before thanking her for being yummy. She presses a button on her bracelet which causes a horde of flying Cybermen to attack the plane. Now, how gut-wrenching was this whole Missy plan and Osgood's gift, guys? Just what do you think?
It was very Jim Moriarty of it, and I loved it.
Oh my gosh, I know.
Missy's wicked. That was so much fun to watch. No, I'm sad. I like Osgood well enough. I don't think that I had the attachment that other people did, but it was just delicious to watch. I want to see more. I mean, I loved Saxon so much. I think that Missy, I would love to see something where there's some sort of crossover where the Master meets Missy. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Oh god, that would be sick. Sarah?
This was my favorite scene of the whole episode. I loved watching it, and it was horrible, but I loved watching it, and it's so clear that Michelle Gomez was just having a blast with this character. You could tell that she just loved doing it. She made every single line of hers sound insane, and it was just so much fun to watch this scene. As much as I loved Osgood, it was a great scene.
She's so hilariously creepy.
Mm-hmm.
I think when creepiness is funny, that just makes it even creepier.
Well, that's something that Moffat really actually buys into.
Yeah.
I've heard in like early interviews about the portrayal of Jim in BBC Sherlock, because a lot of people were being very sinister, very professorial, and then how Andrew Scott came in and was kind of flirting and just kind of playing how crazy Jim actually was, how unhinged he was to a degree. That's something that they were very interested in. So I absolutely think that this is something that Moffat was interested in exploring.
He's brilliant at it, I think. So I feel like with Osgood's death, I was expecting it to not have happened somehow, or to be some sort of cop out, or something else to happen until the very last second when it's clear that Osgood is actually dead. I couldn't actually believe it. Were you guys shocked by Osgood's death, Sarah?
I was hoping it was the Zygon.
Oh, yeah.
But it
I,
was.
I can't remember if that Zygon got killed or not. But
No,
that was cool.
no, Zygon wasn't killed. I think
Um,
Kate Zygon still lives too.
huh?
Kate also was a Zygon, and I think she still lives too. The Kate Zygon.
Interesting. It depends how far the canon of the 50th anniversary carries over to New Who. Oh wait, it does. We've already had Gallifrey talk, haven't we?
Yeah.
Jess, what did you think of Osmond's death?
I thought I mostly covered that. It was sad, but I wasn't nearly attached to her that other people were. It was. We definitely saw her loyalty to the Doctor, which was very heartwarming. Um, but I was far more interested to see what would happen with Missy's plot than I was, grieving over Osgood.
Okay. Mm.
I'm sorry, I'm heartless apparently.
So in the graveyard, Clara finds the one that brought her there and says that the Doctor is the one man that she would never lie to. At this point, the Cybermen. Oh, hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself here. No, I'm not.
See, that was something that was heartbreaking. Because when I was talking about the addiction beforehand, and Clara and the Doctor lie to each other all the time, but the fact that she's basically confessing to Danny, who she has lied to for months, that the Doctor is more important than he ever was to her, that was brutal. That was something that was just devastating to watch.
I imagine being Danny in that scene and just being heartbroken for him in that scene. And she says that.
But is that still true now? Do you think she still values the Doctor over Danny? I don't think so.
I think it was more of a, I don't know. I don't know if she really meant it though. I think she was just focusing on staying alive, I guess, at that point. I don't know. I don't know. I can't put it into words right now. I just think that, uh, what is it? That she was trying to, like, I'm done.
Trying to.
I think, I don't know if I have the same thought process that you do. I don't think that she expected to see Danny, so she was focusing on staying alive. She was focusing on the facts that she had at hand. And so she was just trying to cope with everything that she had lost and with the seriousness and the gravity of the situation. But it is true that she was much less likely to lie. And now I'm thinking about it, I don't know if she ever lied to him. But she did lie to Danny. And again, that's making me consider the seriousness of the relationship and how seriously we were supposed to take Clara and Danny and how she treated him and versus her relationship with the Doctor. So I just felt that was a really I don't know, I was just overwhelmed by what she was revealing in that moment.
I think in with death, it's hard to tell because death brings up such a big change in perspective and emotional attachment than before death, so it's pretty hard to tell with Clara because it's different after someone's died. So the Cyberman tries to shoot her but cannot. Instead, he takes his mask off and reveals who we already know to be a mutilated Danny, who asks her to turn on his emotional inhibitor. Meanwhile, back on Boat 1, Missy prompts the doctor to ask her about her plan, promising that he will be surprised. She claims that by investigating those that die to save him, she has realized that he wants to know that he is like her. The TARDIS phone begins ringing, and Missy reveals that she both gave Clara the TARDIS's phone number, pretending it was for a PC helpline, and placed the advert in the Victorian newspaper. She claims that it was the only way to make sure the two deeply opposite personalities, a control freak and a man who can never be controlled, stay together. Why do you think Missy did all this? Yes?
The basic gist of it that I got was that she wants to play and manipulate and mess around with people. Until you kind of recapped there, I mean, I was actually trying to remember why it was important that she was the one who made that call. So I don't know. I think that it was kind of a stretch. I think that having the connection that we did, it wasn't really necessary to go that far with it. But no, it was fine.
Okay, Sarah?
After all these months, after all these years of wondering who the woman in the shop was, the one person I did not want it to be was Missy. And who was it? It was Missy. I was deeply, deeply upset by that.
I know a lot of people were clamoring for it to be Rose or Amy or somebody.
I would have preferred it to be an older Clara who gave herself the number, but I did not want it to be Missy, and it was Missy. Now, I love Missy, but it was just too predictable, and I'm like, why? This is the one thing, like, I really wanted this to have, like, an awesome payoff, and it wasn't.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have called it predictable, but it was not surprising, and with as glorious of a plan that Missy had been orchestrating for so long, it seemed like that was too convenient and she needed something else.
So, do you guys think that with this whole thing that Missy, aka the Master, is just showing a bit of a liking for the Doctor again, like on a friendship level, or do you think it's just playing?
See, that's one of the questions that I have on the episode is, what are Missy's motives?
Yeah, because it kind of seems sometimes like she genuinely likes him, on a old friends kind of, sort of relationship there. Is that just me?
No, it's not just you. I get that as well, and then another part of her wants him to be manipulated and stuff. So I was confused by the end of the episode about what Missy's true intentions were. I mean, she wanted to give him an army, which we didn't get there yet. So why?
I think part of each other is always going to appreciate the other at least a little bit.
I guess, yeah.
They might try to kill each other, but I think they're
down at each other.
I've forgotten that they were friends, I don't think. Jessica, what do you think the Doctor and Missy's relationship is like at this point?
I have no idea.
It's hard to tell.
I really don't. I mean, okay, sure, I buy into that they were childhood friends, and then they went off, and one very easily could have become the other if the circumstances were different, which is a trope that you see a lot. I don't know. I don't. I mean, it could be anywhere from the Doctor wants to save Missy because of that friendship. The Doctor wants to see Missy destroyed because that's the only way to stop her. I mean, at this point, it really could be anything. And I don't think that we know this Doctor as well as we have known others. So it really could just be anything at this point.
I hope we see more of it in season 9, because I really like Missy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the doctor answers the TARDIS phone, and it's Clara calling to tell him about Danny. He warns her not to turn on the inhibitor because Danny will revert to a Cyberman and kill her if she does. Meanwhile, the Cybermen are breaking into Boat 1 and killing crew members. Clara begins to hit switches around Danny's power core, hoping to find the inhibitor switch. So basically, she's completely ignoring what the doctor said. On Boat 1, Kate has alerted other organizations of their situation and rushes into the room, saying that the plane is going down. Missy turns her attention to her and says that she likes Kate, before blowing out a section of the wall, sucking her out of the plane. She orders the Cybermen to destroy the plane and teleports away, leaving the doctor. So that's Kate gone as well. What did you think of that whole Boat 1 destruction and Clara ignoring the doctor's orders? Sarah?
I remember thinking, oh my gosh, we lost Kate too now. Because I didn't know that Kate would actually survive that, so I actually thought that Kate was a goner as well. In which case, I was more upset of Kate potentially being gone than I was of Osgood, because Kate, was the brigadier's daughter, so I liked her more. As for the whole Boat 1 going down, I loved it because it just showed once again how insane Missy was, which I love to see.
Yeah, I think that's why the deaths were so important, to show how insane this new mistress slash master is. Just what do you think?
I remember thinking, just how high do these stakes have to come or become? It was like with every finale, it's like, oh, it got worse. Oh, it got even more worse. I was just waiting for, okay, so at what point have we reached the cap on how crazy things are going to get? I was just kind of trying to figure out what the resolution was going to be. I was far more interested in Clara's motivations to protect Danny's emotions, and the way he feels, and really just kind of playing around with the depth of her feeling for him, but also to what length is she willing to go to essentially protect him or take care of him, given the circumstances and everything that she's put him through. Because I do think that she feels kind of responsible for what happens to Danny in this crazy world, and all of this experience. So I was more interested in that story than I was about the political stuff that was going on and blowing up. And unfortunately, I hadn't gotten to know Kate in her relation to Ulrich Who nearly as well as other people. So I unfortunately missed the importance of that.
Oh, okay. I don't think any finale is going to top Journey's Ends, because that was every bit of matter in the universe except for the Daleks. So I don't know how much higher stake we can go than that. And then they also managed to trump Donna dying with something even worse. So I don't know. I think Stephen Moffat has some competition for higher stakes and most traumatic endings through Russell T Davies, really.
I hated Journey's End.
I loved Journey's End. Someday we will get to that.
Oh my God,
Hopefully we will not be going one episode a month to get there, but it will come. So Boat 1 explodes and the Doctor is thrown clear of the debris. Seb and Missy watch on from the Neversphere, remarking on how boring his death will be. Using his key to summon the TARDIS, the Doctor manages to catch and enter his ship before reaching the ground. Seb is excited over the turn of events, to which Missy replies that Seb is merely an AI. Seb continues to be enthusiastic before Missy promptly destroys him. The Doctor materializes in the graveyard and warns Clara that if she deletes Danny's emotions, he will kill her. He denies that he will, and the Doctor says that the difference between himself and Missy is an emotion. He tries to get Danny to tell him what the cloud will do, but Danny says he isn't fully integrated into the cyber hive mind and cannot see, mocking the Doctor as a typical officer who has to keep his hands clean. So what do you guys think of the whole Doctor Danny thing, Jess?
I want to cuddle Danny so much. He really sees the Doctor. So Rory really had a lot of perspective on the Doctor outside of Amy's adoration and practical worship of him. And so Rory was refreshing because he was a bit more cynical and would see the Doctor more for who he was. Danny takes that 5 steps farther and challenges the Doctor over, because the Doctor never wanted to know who Danny was based on the very fact that Danny at one point had been a soldier, and now he is the ultimate soldier by being a Cyberman. So you have that kind of play with it, and then I just really appreciated everything that Danny had lost at this time, and was riveted to see what would happen next.
Okay, and Sarah?
Same. Yeah, same. I had something, but I totally forgot what I was going to say. I have to start writing these things down.
Okay, so Clara takes the Doctor's sonic screwdriver and enables Danny's emotional inhibitor. He tells the Doctor that the cloud will convert all humanity into Cybermen. Big shocker. Missy then teleports into the graveyard, demonstrating her full control of the Cybermen now assembled. She then gives the Doctor a bracelet, allowing him the same control as a birthday gift. It's lucky one of us remembers, she notes, and says that he can save everyone he wants to save and right all the wrongs in the universe. Which, if she thinks that's going to happen with Cybermen, she's pretty wrong. What did you think of Missy giving the Doctor that power?
You know what I was thinking? After the episode, and I was, thinking about what I just watched, I was wondering it was actually answered in this recap, but I was wondering when Missy started, uploading the recently departed minds to the Nethersphere, and then I was wondering if Amy and Rory were there. And if Amy and Rory were there, then that means that they were converted into Cybermen, and I just thought that was very eerie to think that Amy and Rory and all of the departed companions would have been Cybermen, and the Doctor would have been controlling them in this sense. So I was thinking about that.
That could have been very cool. That could have been a cool plotline. Just what did you think of the Doctor's latest temptation of power?
Well, I think that's really what the whole series or the season has been about. The lead-in was him asking Clara if he was a good man, and this is really at least as far as we can tell, the ultimate test to see who he really is. And I do think that while Missy's trying to play, I think she really does kind of want, like, she knows him well enough to a point, but I think she's really trying to motivate him to just do something grand. Because there was something that tied them together as children. There was some sort of motivation or friendship, and she's looking for her own companion. I think she's wanting someone to play with, and wanting to, putting out her hand, saying, are we on the same page? Can we do this together? Not in necessarily a romantic sense. I don't think that that's something that they're interested in pursuing that storyline. But I do think that, at least platonically, that's what her motivations were. And I don't think that was too far off from how we saw the Master in season 3. It wasn't so. I don't think it was so much that the Master just wants to see the world burn, but she, whomever, wants somebody standing there with him.
It's kind of sad in a way, and it'd be even more sad.
It's very tragic.
Yeah, it'd be even more sad if the Master wasn't a complete psychopath, but it kind of makes me want to see the Master / Mistress have a bit of a happy ending, really. Despite all that the Mistress / Master has done. That's going to get confusing. Yeah. It would be amazing to see a prequel to Doctor Who about Gallifrey. Would you guys watch that? Because I would be so on board.
I would.
Just cast a couple of amazing British child actors as the Doctor and the Master, pre-Time War, pre-First Doctor, pre-everything. That'd be pretty amazing. So he refuses control of the army, demanding to know why she's doing this. Missy says she wants to show him that they are not so different, and that she needs her friend back. After remembering how he had wondered if he was a good man, the Doctor realizes something and thanks Missy for helping him. He declares that he is not a good man, nor a bad man, nor a hero, nor a president, nor an officer as Danny had described him. He says that he is an idiot with a box and a screwdriver, passing through, helping out, and learning. Which is so true. He says that he does not need an army and throws the bracelet to Danny, which he has realized was the only Cyberman who had not obeyed Missy's orders. Danny puts it on and assumes control of the Cyberman. He promises Clara that she will sleep safe tonight before flying into the cloud with the rest of the Cybermen and destroying it, himself, and the other Cybermen. So he's a bit of a hero, really. What did you think of Danny's end and the Doctor's revelation, which he's had many times before? Sarah?
I don't know. I loved this whole scene. Well, no, I didn't. I didn't really love this whole scene. I enjoyed it. I loved the music in this scene. Like the 12th Doctor's theme, I loved that. But I liked this scene only because we have gotten big speech after big speech after big speech. And at this point, I was just like, yeah, like we know this all already. So I was kind of bored. But then the Doctor threw the bracelet to Danny, and then I actually was quite, sad that we were saying this for real this time, goodbye to Danny and Danny's sacrifice to, save the world, and, oh, Danny. And I really loved, when he told Clara that she will sleep safe tonight. That was so sweet. So I liked it. I liked it as soon as, the bracelet went to Danny. and Danny kind of took control of the Cybermen at that point.
Yeah. And Jess?
I had two thoughts during this scene. First, I have to ask, have either of you, I assume you both have, but have either of you watched Firefly?
Actually, no.
No, okay. Sarah, have you?
No.
Oh my god!
I know all about it.
Oh
But
no!
It's my type of show. I know that. But no.
Okay, so there was a bit with the whole he's not a good man or a bad man or a hero or a president. That whole bit kind of reminded me of a scene in one of the episodes where I'm not going to tell you the instance of what the situation was, but Captain Malcolm Reynolds says, that he's, basically that he's a good man, and then he goes, well, I'm all right. Nah, I'm not so good at all. And like kind of that kind of attitude. And I don't want to spoil it for you because the moment is quite delightful. But he does have that similar kind of moment, and it's treated with a whole lot of humor rather than this revelation. And the other thing is that I also had a lot of kind of, again, always for me, ties to Sherlock, because there's the human who thinks that he's a god, and then you have a god who's trying to be human. Well, not so much with this doctor. He's just trying to understand and find his place with all of this power and everything like that. So for him to humble himself to this degree was very interesting. And then, somebody has to make a grand sacrifice, and for once it's not the doctor who's secretly or not so secretly, carrying all of this on his shoulders. It's someone who is truly noble, taking the world and making it a better place, regardless of what happens to him. At this point, I think he's realized his place, or what good he can do, which is very fitting of someone in the military. I say this not because I have military experience, but just that, you find your place, and then you do you do what's right, you do what you're told to do, kind of thing. And it's the most he can do. And I think that he really does believe that. So he's going to put everything he has left into protecting everyone, and especially Clara.
that is also true. So in the graveyard, Missy recites the. Oh, hold on a second. Yeah, in the graveyard, Missy recites the coordinates of Gallifrey, claiming it has returned to its original location. Clara threatens to kill Missy with her own weapon, but the Doctor takes it from her and prepares to do it himself to spare Clara. Before he can, however, a blast from behind him then hits her and seems to disintegrate her. A Cyberman is behind them. It lowers its weapon and points toward another section of the graveyard. Clara sees Catch Stewart lying there, still alive, muttering about her father. So she's not dead. I think the general consensus is that this Cyberman is the Brigadier.
Yes.
Yeah. Which, oh my god, that is the most subtle and beautiful shout out to him that they could do. That's pretty cool. Sarah, what did you think of it, since you seem to already have some thoughts?
Well, I know how important the Brigadier was to the classic Who, so I mean, even though I've never experienced an episode with him, I do know, how important he was to the Doctor. So I did get kind of emotional seeing, the Cyberman Brigadier, and I thought it was a very fitting tribute to him, I guess, when you saw the doctor, saluting him, which was his greatest wish. And I love that part where you see the brig again.
From what I understand, the Brigadier sort of took the Doctor in at unit after the Doctor was banished to Earth. So I think they met in his third reincarnation, but I could be wrong. I need to watch a lot more Classic Who. Just what did you think of the Brigadier and Mrs. What we're supposed to believe is her death, but I don't actually believe it is. What do you think?
I was really moved by the throwback, and again, I hadn't really experienced a lot with the Brigadier, but just basically, his greatest wish being the Doctor saluting him or acknowledging his significance, and the Doctor basically saying he only needed to ask. So it just really shows how high of regard the Doctor finds him. Again, and just showing somebody of just absolute moral integrity, which you don't get a whole lot in Doctor Who. I think they have a lot more fun playing with the gradients of, or the moral ambiguity and everything. So I thought that for someone who is so steadfast in the history behind it, I really appreciated that. Made me want to know more about the Brigadier.
Yeah, totally. There's a sound clip I wish I could play it. Oh, let me try and find it. No, I can't find it, but it's probably the Brigadier's most famous quote. I wanted to give a little audio shout out to him, but I cannot find it, so I'll have to wait. Really. The Doctor, now understanding, turns back to the Cyberman, who he realizes, like we did, that it's Brigadier, and remarks, "The Earth's darkest hour and mine. Where else would you be?" before saluting him. Kate had previously remarked that her father's greatest wish had been to receive a salute from the Doctor, which we also got to. The Cyberman Brigadier then flies up into the sky with the Doctor whispering "thank you" after him, which is beautiful. 2 weeks later, Clara awakes in the middle of the night to find a portal to the Neversphere in her hallway. Danny speaks to it, saying that the Neversphere is collapsing and that the bracelet only has enough power left for a one-way trip. Instead of coming through the portal himself, however, he sends through the young Afghan boy he killed, telling her to find his parents. He says he is sorry, and the portal closes, leaving the boy in the hallway along with the broken bracelet. This Danny is so sweet, and it's too bad we won't see any more of him. Jessica, what do you think?
I understand, to preserve Danny's character and everything, that he needed to have that one final sacrifice. But from what I could see, I don't see that the Doctor is going to take the boy back so that he has that time to grow up alongside his family. I think he's just basically introduced into this world that he doesn't know. And so me being callous is like, why not choose, like, it's sad, and again, protect your characters, but I'm just like, why not choose the life with Clara? But I think he realizes too that as much as she loves him, he's still not her first priority as long as the Doctor's around. So I think he's content in making that decision, in addition to it being the right thing to do.
Well, forgive my lack of American knowledge, but how recent were the wars in Afghanistan?
Well, I'm just thinking the logistics of getting back. Hell, we've been at war for, well, way too long to begin with, but it's just a matter of...
Well, has it been that long, though? That's what I want to know. I mean, it might not have been that long.
But he's still not going to get to his parents, because that's not... I mean, I don't know the logistics of how he would get back home, or if he would even, want to be back home given the situation. I don't know how long Danny was deployed, but generally deployment can last. I mean, depending on your rank and your commitment and your contract, you could be a soldier for upwards of a decade or longer, depending on whether or not you sign on again. So I guess I'm just assuming that this boy was killed fairly early on and has lost several years, and so he would be reintroduced as a very young boy with his family, who may or may not be alive at this point. And so it's just, I don't know. Again, I know why they did, and it was moving, but, I still would like to see Clara happy at some point. And I have enough of Danny moping, and I just was looking, it just crossed my mind that something else could have happened here.
I think the main thing for Danny is that this boy gets to have a life, which kind of got denied from him.
I absolutely, I don't believe that Danny made a wrong decision, and again, it makes me like him more. It's just that I want to make sure that his sacrifice wasn't in vain, kind of thing.
We will probably never know. Sarah, what did you think?
I expected this from Danny. It was total Danny thing to do, to let the boy back in. Yeah, I expected it. It's totally him, and it made me love Danny even more as well. It made me sad to realize that he was gone for good now. Also, I got a big doomsday vibe from this scene, where there was, enough power left for just a couple minutes. No, there's power left for just a one-way trip. So it was a big doomsday vibe to it.
Very trope heavy, yeah.
And now I have to watch Doomsday. So yeah, Danny's goodbye was very bittersweet and noble. So, but the Doctor meets Clara in a restaurant, and the latter remarks that he is 2 weeks late, which is an improvement for him, she notes. He notes that she's wearing a bracelet and assumes Danny has returned from the Neversphere. She tries to tell him he hasn't, but he thinks she's trying to say that she can't travel in the TARDIS anymore. He says that it's fine and that he has found Gallifrey exactly where Missy said it was, and that for once she wasn't lying. In fact, it is revealed that the Doctor travelled to the coordinates Missy gave him and found nothing but empty space. Closing the TARDIS door, he entered a fit of rage and attacked the console before sinking to the floor and weeping for his lost home planet. At the end of the day, Missy has had the last laugh. So, that's probably not the best move for their relationship. They both lied to each other. And I felt pretty bad for the Doctor about the coordinates being wrong. I have a feeling there's more to that, though. And we're going to find that out next season, because I still don't believe Missy is dead. Jess, what do you think? Or Sarah?
Well, I don't think Missy was lying about the coordinates, unless the coordinates have a time attached to them. I think that Gallifrey did return to its original position, but just not in the right time that the Doctor went.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think that the location is correct, but Missy just forgot to tell him one key detail, and that is the time. You know,
I
maybe Gallifrey comes back 1,000 years in the future from that spot from when the doctor went. So that's what I think. I don't think she was lying.
totally think the same
I just think she left out a detail, a very important detail.
thing. I think the same thing. Jess?
I think that's the whole point, is that we can't trust Missy, and I think the Doctor is experiencing a whole, like the greatest. Well, I don't know if it's the greatest of betrayals, but for their history, and then still, because he knows that she knows how important finding Gallifrey is to him, and I think that whether or not she left out some or omitted information willingly or accidentally or what, I think that is something that he has to fight with. And here it's just a matter of the Doctor and Clara trying to prove to themselves that they don't need the other, and really just not succeeding very well. And I think they're just making sure that the other understands that if someone has to cut ties and bolt, that nobody's going to think less of them for that.
Totally. I think one of the reasons why I think Missy was lying though is because, to me, I always thought that finding Gallifrey was important to her too. So I'm still not entirely convinced that she would have lied about that. But I guess we'll find out whenever season 9 starts airing, which hopefully not be too long. So So the Doctor lies to Clara and tells her that he found Gallifrey, like you said, to make her believe that he'll be fine without her. Um, Hearing this, that made Clara change her mind, and she goes along with the Doctor by lying about Danny as well. Clara asks what he will do now, and he says that Gallifrey can be a good place and that he will try and make it one. He says it's a long commute, and Clara and Danny mightn't be able to make it. They leave with a hug, and Clara asks why he doesn't like hugging, and he responds, "Never trust a hug, it's just a way to hide your face." As they hug, their faces each reveal their sadness behind each other's back. As Doctor enters his TARDIS, Clara tells him that he made her feel special when they travelled together and thanks him for it. He thanks her for exactly the same, and dematerializes in the TARDIS while Clara walks away. I think this made me quite sad because it reminded me of like all the big hugs between 10 and Rose, 9 and Rose, Martha and 10, Donna and 10, and Amy and 11. It kind of made me remember that and get a bit sad. Sarah, what do you think of the second to last scene here?
I thought, yay!
Yay?
Yay. I thought Clara was gone.
Uh-huh. Well, as we know, she probably isn't, because I believe Jenna's back, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Jess?
Really, what I got from it was that in as sincere as they were in expressing, how much they appreciate one another, that they think that lying is going to be the best way to protect them, and it's just an interesting perspective. It's something that's very human.
White lie.
Well, not that it's a white lie. It's just that thinking that the lie is going to be easier to stand than the truth.
Yep.
And or as distant and uncomprehending as the Doctor has been, especially all season, it really just kind of lends itself for how much he has been changed by Clara. And it also was really interesting to think of the perspective, hugs being a way to hide your face. I don't think I've ever thought of it that way, so it's something interesting to think about as the series was wrapping up.
I'll have you know that now, though, that every time I hug someone, I do think of that quote.
That's kind of a nice and bittersweet thought at the same time, because you don't want to be thinking about whether somebody's face matches the hug. Do you know what I mean? Like they say when your eyes don't match your smile. It's kind of sad again. Maybe I'm just being a little morose this episode. Um, but there is one final scene. It's a mid-credits scene, and the Doctor's brooding alone in his TARDIS as he does when he thinks that he can handle being alone. When he hears somebody knocking at the door, telling him that it can't end like this, and that neither Clara nor the Doctor is okay. The voice turns out to be that of Santa Claus, who enters the TARDIS in a swirl of snowflakes and asks a boggling Doctor what he wants for Christmas. Am I the only person because I didn't see any spoilers, when they first saw this scene that it was a little ridiculous? Sarah?
I thought it was. Yeah.
You thought it was ridiculous?
Yeah, a little bit.
I was kind of disappointed because I was expecting the voice to be like the return of somebody like hugely impressive or something like that. And I was kind of excited for it, but nope, it turned out to be the lead into the Christmas special. Jess, what did you think of Santa Claus?
I had no idea what to think. I was like, okay, that's the Christmas special, but what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
Just weird to think that in that scene, the Doctor's already dreaming.
Oh, yeah, true, eh? It must have happened quite quickly after they left the restaurant, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Christmas episode spoilers for Christmas 2015, but nevertheless. So, yeah, that wraps up the finale of season 8, Death in Heaven. What do you guys think? Is it a thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs sideways? Jess?
Oh my gosh, I ask my students that all the time.
Not about talking right?
I have to
Whenever I do something, like I always ask them, like, okay, when I say 3, 2, 1 thumbs, you're gonna show me your thumbs, and I always do like thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs sideways. Ah.
So cute.
She's ready for summer, can't you tell?
I have to give a shout out to Runcible for that rating system. It's quite handy. So Jess, what would you give it?
I enjoyed it, but I don't think it really stands out any more than any other finale. So, I mean, good show, but I mean, probably just them sideways for me.
Okay. Sarah?
I would show a thumb sideways as well. Sorry. Thumb sideways because, like Jess said, it wasn't really that memorable. The only parts that I really liked were the Missy scenes. Yeah, I don't really particularly care for this episode or this 2-part finale. I would give it a 6 out of 10.
Okay, so that'd be a thumb sideways leading towards a thumbs up. I reckon I'm pretty much the same as Sarah, so thumb sideways, 6 out of 10 for me as well. Not my favourite finale, but Missy was amazing. So hopefully that shows what we're in for season 9. Yeah. So did you guys have anything else to add about the episode?
No.
I don't know that I want Missy to come back right away.
Why?
I think she's complicated enough that we need her in small doses just to stir things up, and that if she was more regular, that her wackiness would lose its punch. It's kind of the same reason why I think that Moriarty should not be alive.
Okay.
It's like it's hard to explain. I'm not sure that I'm doing an adequate job of it.
No, I totally get what you mean. I think I felt that way about River. I think I needed her in small doses as well, to be honest. Sarah, did you have anything?
Well, it's not like that I dislike the character, though. I think it's just that more effective. She's more effective, and it's better for the audience to want more than to have too much.
Yeah. It's kind of like re-listening to your favorite song too much.
Yeah.
Do you ever get that? So Sarah, did you have any last thoughts?
No. No. Not really.
Alright, so that's it for finally our coverage of the season 8 finale. If you want to contact us, you can find us at COT Podcast on Twitter or childrenoftimepodcast.tumblr.com. We're going to try to update those a little more often for you. Hopefully our schedules plan out a bit better over the American summer and we can give more for you. But that's it for tonight. I'm Simone. This. Hold on, I'll start again. I go first, then Jess, then Sarah.
I'm sorry, I was muted.
Okay. I'm Simone.
I'm Jessica.
And I'm Sarah.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Sarah, say bye.
I said bye.
Okay. Bye.
Say bye again.
Bye!
She's hopped up on lightning. Bye, guys. Okay.